So, hi, you guys. Again, this is Tamika Chambers. And yesterday I was talking about healing from the inside out, part 4, cultivating your inner garden, and how it's so important that once you've been through a traumatic experience to really cultivate those gifts and talents within you, to cultivate the spiritual fruit that is in you, already in you. You know, I was just listening to someone's interview and how about having tools to really heal yourself from the inside out, tools to go through life journey. And I've shared my story on my blog, TamikaSChambers.com, as well as in videos like this one, that after experiencing a couple events in my life, I didn't grow up with my father. I experienced sexual abuse at the hands of 2 family members that led me into the dark wilderness. And so I'm coming out of this wondering, who am I now that this has happened, right? Standing at the crossroads of my life and not wanting to repeat what I had gone through or be a part of that, or actually know too how to go through life, you know, how to go to walk along the better paths of life, avoiding many potholes that often we can fall into, especially after you've been through a traumatic experience. And so I found, I had obtained a Bible, I obtained the Lord's Prayer on a white bookmark, and I learned about Jesus. And it wasn't so much about religion, it was more about seeing a man who had a purpose and committed himself to that purpose. And so I didn't have that male role model in my life. I had 2 younger brothers, and granted, they helped me a lot throughout my earthly journey and reminding me who I was, who they remembered me to be, who they remembered me as. And so I had tools, seeds that were sown into me and continued to harvest throughout my life, avoiding a lot of the pitfalls, really focusing on healing myself, building my moral character, and eventually having a family and taking care of my family and trying to raise them in the best way that I could with the teachings that I had learned, because I had become a student of life, right? And often as adults, as we go through our earthly journey, there are many things that we can forget. We can forget who we are. We can forget that we're spirits. We can forget that we have divine purpose. We can forget that our life has meaning, that God created us fearfully and wonderfully, that we are more than our experiences, and that God wants us to have a hope and a future. And so I call this higher power God. I've said this over before, it's not about what you call it, it's about what you believe. And so I believe I was given those tools to help me. And it's about cultivating those tools within you and moderating those seeds from other people, their opinions about who you are and who you should be. So check out that video. I've kind of given you a lot of information because I feel like, you know, more and more that when we have information to share, that we should share it. And so part 5 is actually the harvesting of our fruit. And as you know, there are seasons for that. You know, we cultivate them, we cocoon in storms and really find out who we are. We cultivate the right seeds, and then we harvest as gardeners. I'm a novice gardener. I've only been at it for a few years, but I find that when I talk about healing from the inside out, I believe nature gives us those tools that we need, the right amounts of balance in our life. And harvesting those fruits is that we don't have to go out and look for love. I was looking for love because I knew what love was not. Love is in us. That because of the anger that I had, I realized I didn't want to be angry. I wanted to forgive. Because of the fear I had and the self-doubt, I realized that the Bible tells us that God did not give us a spirit of fear, that we have a spirit of power and love, you know, self-control. And those are things that I bank on because those things are within me. As you see nature and the storms and how the trees continue to blossom every spring and the leaves fall every fall, that there's a time and a season for us to take in information, to grow, and to bring out what is already in us. And so our emotions, as I've stated before in a previous video, that's information, data. It's not for us to tear ourselves apart or tear others apart, but it's for us to learn from and to grow and say, okay, this is where I am now, but this isn't where I have to be, the next day or years later. I can learn from this emotion and feeling. And who do I want to be? Do I want to be hate or do I want to be love? Do I want to be fear or do I want to be bold and courageous? Because I believe that is in us. I think as I see children playing around, they're bold. They go up and ask people, what's your name? Who are you? Can I play with you? And somehow as adults, we lose that. We want to be to ourselves and we start, thinking and believing things that are not even true, things that we may have heard. And so, yes, we experience emotions, but we do not have to become those emotions. That whatever we embody, you guys, whatever we own, take responsibility for, we express. So if we take responsibility for someone else's pain, we're going to be an expression of their pain, their projected pain on us. So we don't have to live that way. We have the right to be who we want to be. We have the right to enjoy our life freely. And that is the next step in part 6 is, forgiveness. That's what forgiveness is all about, is living our lives freely, true freedom. So this is Tamika Chambers with Fuel Your Core. You can find out more about me on TamikaSChambers.com. Remember the S. And I will be sharing with you later part 6 of healing from the inside out. So take care of yourself. As always, your life has purpose. No experiences define you. And make this lifetime great because you still can. Take care.